I put my brother in the hospital. After he screwed my wife and bragged, "You know I always get what I want." My family took his side and tried to get me thrown in jail, so I made them regret it. Sup, Reddit. This happened about 2 years ago. I was a pilot living what I thought was a pretty straightforward life. Then I came home early from a flight. That day messed up everything. I, 31 male, have been with my wife Bridget, 29 female, for just over 2 years. Met at a friend's birthday, hit it off, moved in together after 8 months. We did the courthouse wedding before one of my long rotations. Just made sense for benefits and paperwork. She was a physical therapist. I was flying international routes. We had our routines, our inside jokes, our plans. Normal couple stuff. I wasn't supposed to be home. My rotation had me scheduled for another 2 days. Singapore to LAX, then a layover before heading back. 18-hour flights, cramped cockpits, recycled air. The usual. But my airline had staffing issues, last-minute schedule swaps, and suddenly I'm landing at LAX 48 hours early on a Tuesday afternoon. I texted Bridget from the airport. "Home early. See you soon." Read 3:12 p.m. No response. Whatever. She was probably elbow deep in someone's rotator cuff. Physical therapy sessions ran long sometimes, especially with the geriatric crowd who liked to chat about their grandkids while she stretched their frozen shoulders. The house is in my name. She'd been living there for over a year, but she wasn't on the deed or the mortgage. Same goes for my parents' situation, actually. I'd been helping them with their mortgage for years. Troy, too. Funny how that works. Grabbed an Uber. Driver didn't talk, which was perfect. I just stared out the window at the 4:05 traffic, thinking about sleep, my own bed, my own shower, maybe ordering Thai food and watching something brainless on Netflix. My neighborhood was quiet when we pulled up. Tuesday at 3 p.m., everyone at work. My house looked exactly like I'd left it. Lawn slightly overgrown because I kept forgetting to call the landscaping guy. Potted plants on the porch that Bridget bought and immediately stopped watering. I paid the driver, grabbed my suitcase, walked up to the front door. Key in the lock. Turn. Click. Door swings open. I tossed my keys on the table by the entrance. They landed with that familiar metallic clink. Rolled my suitcase into the hallway, noticed Bridget's yoga mat was still in the corner where she'd left it last week. The house smelled like her vanilla candles. Everything normal. Everything fine. That's when I heard it. Upstairs. From my bedroom. Sounds. The kind you can't mistake for anything else. You know what I mean. I stood there in the hallway, hand still on my suitcase handle, just listening, hoping I was wrong, hoping it was the TV, hoping it was literally anything else. Couple seconds of denial before reality kicked in. I wasn't imagining anything. I took the stairs slowly, each step quiet. My heart was pounding, but my head was clear. The bedroom door was half open. I could see part of the bed through the gap. Movement. Sheets. I pushed the door wider. Bridget, my wife. The woman I'd spent just over 2 years with. The woman who'd cried when I proposed at that overpriced restaurant in Santa Monica. In my bed. With my brother, Troy. They didn't hear me at first. Took them maybe 3 full seconds to realize someone was standing in the doorway. 3 seconds of me watching these two people blow up my entire life. Bridget saw me first. Her face went white. She gasped, scrambled, shoved Troy off her like he was on fire. Troy turned, made eye contact with me. And here's the thing about Troy, my younger brother. The golden child who never had to work for anything because someone always bailed him out. Failed out of community college twice. Lost 4 jobs in 3 years. Still drove a truck I helped him finance because his credit was garbage. This was the guy now sitting naked in my bed. He looked at me and said, real calm, "You know I always get what I want." Not sorry. Not shocked. Just stating a fact. Like he was ordering coffee. Something clicked in my head. Not rage. Something colder. I felt my jaw set. "Get out of my house." His face shifted. The smug look flickered. "What are you? Get out of my house. Both of you." Bridget grabbed the sheet, clutching it to her chest. Her voice cracked. "Baby, please, just wait. Let me explain." "Don't." I held up a hand. "You need to leave. If you refuse, I'm calling the police to document this and have you both removed. This is my home, too." Bridget started crying, mascara running. "It was a mistake. It didn't mean anything. Please just listen to me." 10 minutes. Clock's ticking. Troy stood up, pulling on his jeans. His hands were shaking slightly. Tried to laugh it off. "Bro, come on, let's talk about this like adults. We're not bros. And you've got nothing I want to hear. She's mine now, all right? Deal with it." Troy stepped toward me, voice getting louder, more aggressive, getting in my face. "She chose me." I didn't move, didn't flinch, just looked at him. Last warning, get out. Troy kept coming. His eyes were wild now, breathing hard, face getting red. You always get everything. The house, the job, Dad's respect. I'm sick of it. I stood my ground, hands at my sides. You need to leave. Now. Or what? Troy's voice cracked. He was getting worked up, almost manic. You gonna hit me? Go ahead. Give me a reason. I'm going to call the police. Your choice. Just listen to him. Bridget screamed from the bedroom. Troy, stop! Just stop, please! Troy shoved me, both hands on my chest. Hard. I stumbled back but kept my footing. He came at me again, grabbed my shirt, tried to slam me against the wall. His other hand wound back like he was going to swing. I reacted, grabbed his wrist, twisted, used his momentum against him. Basic stuff. He was off balance, overcommitted. I swept his leg and shoved. He went down wrong. Head hit the corner of the hallway table. The wooden edge caught him right at the temple. Blood showed up fast. A lot of it. Bridget screamed from the bedroom doorway. Oh my God, Troy! I stepped back, put my hands up, looked at my brother bleeding on my floor. Don't move him! What did you do? Bridget was hysterical now, crawling toward Troy. What did you do to him? He attacked me. I defended myself. I pulled out my phone. Dialed 911. 911, what's your emergency? My brother attacked me in my home. He shoved me twice and tried to hit me. I defended myself and he fell. He's bleeding from his head. I need an ambulance and police. I gave them my address. I need this documented. He became violent when I asked him to leave. Bridget looked up at me, eyes wild. You called the cops? Are you insane? Back away from him. Don't move his neck. Don't tell me what to do. Spine injury protocol. Move and you could paralyze him. But hey, your call. She froze, hands hovering over Troy. The dispatcher kept me on the line, asked questions. I answered every single one. Clear, calm, detailed. What happened? How he shoved me twice. How he tried to swing on me. How I defended myself. Troy was groaning now, conscious but dazed, hand reaching for his head. Don't touch it, I told him. Still on the phone with 911. You're bleeding. Paramedics are coming. Congratulations on your life choices. Bridget was sobbing, rocking back and forth. This is your fault. This is all your fault. My fault? I looked at her. Interesting perspective. You were in my bed with my brother, but sure. My fault. We didn't mean for this to happen. Get dressed. You're leaving. I need to go with him. You're not going anywhere with him. Get dressed. Now. She stared at me, then scrambled back into the bedroom. The dispatcher asked if Troy was breathing normally. I watched his chest rise and fall. Yes, breathing is steady, but there's significant bleeding from the temple area. Help is nearby, she said. I could hear the sirens getting closer. The sound bounced off the houses in my neighborhood. Troy's breathing had gotten louder, more labored. His fingers kept twitching. Bridget came back out, threw on whatever clothes were closest. She kept looking between me and Troy, like she couldn't figure out which one to focus on. Bridget came back out wearing jeans and a shirt, still crying, makeup destroyed. She knelt next to Troy, but didn't touch him, just kept whispering, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. I stayed exactly where I was, back against the wall, phone to my ear, marks on my chest where he'd shoved me. The dispatcher asked if I was in immediate danger. No, he's on the ground, I'm maintaining distance. Stay on the line until officers arrive? I heard the sirens before I saw the lights, red and blue flashing through the front windows. The sound got louder, closer, then stopped right outside. Bridget looked at me, desperate. Please, please tell them it was an accident. Please. I said nothing, just waited. Paramedics first, then cops. I was still standing in the same spot, hands visible, phone in one hand, the 911 call still active. The paramedics went straight to Troy, started assessing, neck brace, backboard, the whole protocol. One of them kept shining a light in his eyes, checking his pupils. Possible TBI, we need to move now. 2 officers approached me. You the homeowner? Yes. What happened? I came home early, found my wife in bed with my brother, told them both to leave. My brother became aggressive. He shoved me twice and tried to swing on me. I defended myself and he fell, hit his head on the table. One officer pulled out a notepad, started writing. The other one scanned the hallway, looked at the blood on the floor, looked at the table, looked at me. You have security cameras? Yeah. Full smart home setup, motion activated, cloud storage. Everything's time-stamped with audio. The officer's posture changed, got more professional. We'll need to see that footage. Already pulled it up on my phone. Want me to send you the login credentials or show you now? Where's your wife now? Bedroom. One officer went to talk to Bridget. The other stayed with me. Any cameras? Yeah. I travel for work, so I had a full interior security setup installed. Motion-triggered clips, cloud storage, audio. Everything's time-stamped. The officer nodded. Made notes. We'll need access to that footage. Whatever you need, I have nothing to hide. Troy was loaded onto a stretcher. Still conscious, but not making much sense. Slurring his words. Blood matted in his hair. Neck immobilized. One of the paramedics looked concerned. Possible skull fracture? We're going to Cedars-Sinai. The officers asked more questions. I answered everything. Showed them the marks on my chest where Troy had shoved me. Red marks, already starting to bruise. Had them photograph it. Gave them my phone to access the smart home footage. Showed them the doorbell camera app. The officer who'd gone to talk to Bridget came back. She confirms your brother was here. Says they've been seeing each other for a while. Says you came home, got angry, that things escalated. Claims you attacked him. I looked at him. Checked the footage. It'll show exactly what happened. He shoved me. Twice. Then grabbed my shirt and tried to swing. I defended myself. The officer pulled up the video on my phone. Watched it twice. Showed it to his partner. They both nodded. Everything documented. Everything time-stamped. The officers finished their notes. We'll be in touch if we have more questions. You can file a formal complaint for the assault if you choose to. I want to cooperate fully. I'll sign whatever you need. One of them nodded. We'll include that in the report. Bridget tried to leave with the ambulance. I blocked the doorway. Keys, phone, now. What? No. I need to go with him. You need to get out of my house. Please. Her voice broke. She grabbed my arm. Please don't do this. I made a mistake. I'll do anything. I pulled my arm away, held out my hand. House key, car key if you drove here. Hand them over. She fumbled with her key ring. Hands shaking so bad she dropped it twice. Where am I supposed to go? I don't have anywhere. Not my problem. Should have thought about that before. Baby, please. She was full on sobbing now, snot running down her face. I love you. I made a mistake. It was just one time. Please don't throw away 3 years. One time? I looked at her. This was the first time? She couldn't meet my eyes. That's what I thought. I gestured to the counter. Keys. Now. She placed the house key on the kitchen counter, hands trembling. Can I get some of my things? 5 minutes. Then you're out. 5 minutes? All my stuff is here. Should have thought about that. She ran upstairs. I heard drawers opening, things being thrown into bags. She came back down with a duffel bag, mascara streaked down her face, eyes red and swollen. Please, she tried one more time, standing in my doorway, voice barely a whisper. Please, can we just talk about this tomorrow? When you've calmed down? I am calm. Get out. I'm begging you. I know. Leave. She stood there, mouth opening and closing, looking for words that didn't exist. Out. Now. She stumbled out the door, stood on the porch for a moment, turned back. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I closed the door in her face, locked it. The officers were still there, finishing up paperwork. One of them looked at me. You need anything else from us? No. I have everything I need. We'll be in touch. They left. I stood in my hallway, blood still on the floor and table, stared at it for a long time. Then I got cleaning supplies from under the sink and scrubbed until it was gone. I didn't sleep that night. Sat on my couch with all the lights on, going through the smart home footage frame by frame. Saved everything to 3 different cloud storage accounts. Made copies on 2 external hard drives. Backed it up to a USB drive I put in my safety deposit box the next morning. The footage was crystal clear. Audio and video. Troy following me into the hallway. Him shoving me. Him grabbing my shirt and winding up to swing. Me defending myself. Him falling backward, head connecting with the table corner. The sickening thud. Him going down. Self-defense. Clear as day. I watched it 12 times. Noted every timestamp. Every moment Troy initiated contact. Every time I gave him a chance to walk away. Every second that proved I'd tried to avoid confrontation. Labeled each file with date, time, location. Created a master document listing every piece of evidence I had. The videos. The photos of my injuries. The 911 call recording. The police report number. Officer names and badge numbers. Even downloaded the Uber receipt showing exactly when I'd arrived home. Around 4 a.m., I started making a timeline. Wrote down everything in chronological order. When I texted Bridget, when the Uber picked me up, when I entered the house, when I heard the sounds, when I walked upstairs, Every single detail with timestamps, printed it out, made 3 copies, put one in my safe, one in the safety deposit box, one with my important documents at work. My phone started ringing at 6 a.m. Mom. I let it ring. She called again and again. Then Dad called. Then Monica. Then Piper. I silenced them all, made coffee, sat at my kitchen table. My phone buzzed with a text. Mom, Troy is in the hospital. Call me immediately. I didn't respond. Dad, what did you do to your brother? Didn't respond. Monica, we need to talk. Now. Didn't respond. Around 8 a.m., I got a call from a number I didn't recognize. Answered it. This is calling from Cedars-Sinai. I'm calling about your brother Troy. He still had you listed as emergency contact from years ago. He gave consent at intake. Are you able to discuss his condition? He never updated anything in his life. Troy still had me listed as emergency contact from years back. What's his condition? He has a severe concussion and a skull fracture. We had to relieve pressure on his brain. He's stable now, but there are complications. The impact caused some bleeding. We're monitoring him closely. Complications? It's too early to know the full extent, but there may be permanent effects. We'll know more in the coming days. I thanked them and hung up. The calls kept coming, every few minutes. Different family members taking turns. I watched the phone light up over and over. Sip my coffee. Around 10 a.m., the doorbell rang. I looked through the peephole. Mom and Dad, standing on my porch. Dad had that look on his face, the one that meant he was about to lecture me. I didn't open the door. They knocked, rang the bell again, knocked harder. We know you're in there, Dad called out. Open this door right now. I sat back down on my couch, turned on the TV, volume up. They stayed for 20 minutes, banging, yelling, eventually left. My phone buzzed again. Monica this time. We're worried about you. Please just let us know you're okay. The switch from aggressive to concerned. Classic manipulation. I'd seen this playbook before. I deleted the message. An hour later, a new text. Dad, your brother has a concussion, a skull fracture, and they had to drill into his head to relieve pressure. We need to discuss what happened. I took a screenshot. Saved it to a folder labeled Evidence. The messages kept rolling in throughout the day. Different tactics. Mom trying guilt. Dad trying anger. Monica trying reason. Piper trying sympathy. They rotated like they'd coordinated their approach. Probably had a group chat going where they strategized about how to crack me. I screenshotted everything, added each one to my growing evidence folder, created subfolders, organized by sender, by date, by tone. The angrier they got, the more documentation I collected. Every threat, every accusation, every attempt to paint me as the villain. All saved, all time-stamped, all backed up in multiple locations. By noon, I had 47 messages. By 3 p.m., it was over 80. My sister sent paragraphs about family loyalty, about how Troy needed support, about how I was being cruel. Not one of them mentioned what Troy had done. Not one acknowledged that he'd attacked me. It was all about how I'd hurt him, how I'd overreacted, how I needed to fix this. That afternoon, my phone rang from a number I didn't recognize. I almost didn't answer, but something made me pick up. This is a detective with LAPD. I'd like to ask you some questions about an incident yesterday involving your brother. I'll cooperate. I'm not answering detailed questions without counsel. Pause on the other end. That's your right. When can you come to the station? I'll have my lawyer contact you. You already have a lawyer? My airline has a legal plan. I'll be in touch within 24 hours. I hung up, called the union immediately, explained the situation. They connected me with a lawyer who specialized in self-defense cases. Former prosecutor. Knew his stuff. We met that evening at a coffee shop. I showed him everything. The footage, the photos of my injuries, the 911 call recording, the police report. My lawyer watched the video 3 times. This is clean. He attacked you. You defended yourself. He fell. My family is going to push for charges. Let them try. He leaned back. You've got documentation they'd kill for in court. Time-stamped video, audio, independent witness statements from the officers who responded. You called 911 yourself. You stayed at the scene. You cooperated fully. This is textbook self-defense. What do I do? Nothing. Let me handle the police. Don't talk to your family. Don't explain yourself. Don't apologize. And for the love of God, don't go near your brother. I nodded. One more thing, my lawyer said. Your wife, the marriage? Short. Just over 2 years. She wasn't on the deed or mortgage. Separate property. I need to file. File for divorce. Immediately. California is a no-fault state, but you need to get ahead of this. She might try to claim marital assets or support. File first, establish the timeline, and make it clear the marriage ended the moment you caught her in your bed with your brother. What about her stuff? Box it up, put it in storage, send her the location and bill her for it, or leave it on the curb with a text. Either way, document everything. I left the meeting oddly calm. I had evidence. I had counsel. I had followed every rule. My phone was blowing up when I got home. 15 missed calls, 30 texts. Monica. The police called Mom and Dad. They want to interview us about what Troy said about you. Piper. Why do you need a lawyer if you didn't do anything wrong? Dad. Lawyering up makes you look guilty. If you have nothing to hide, just talk to the police. I screenshotted every message, added them to my evidence folder. Then I typed one message to the family group chat. My lawyer will handle all communication with police. Do not contact me directly. Any further contact will be considered harassment and documented accordingly. Sent. Muted the chat. Monica tried calling immediately. I declined. She texted, "You can't just cut us off like this. We're your family." I didn't respond. Dad called from 3 different numbers. I declined all of them. Blocked the numbers. That night, someone sent me a message from an account I didn't recognize. Troy is devastated. He can't believe you're doing this. He just wants to apologize. I blocked the account. My neighbor knocked on my door around 8 p.m. "Hey man, everything okay? I heard sirens yesterday." "Yeah, had an incident with my brother. It's handled." The cops talked to me, asked if I heard anything. What did you tell them? The truth. I heard yelling, heard a crash, saw the ambulance, saw you talking to the cops, looking calm, saw them taking photos of your chest. Thanks. You need anything? No, but thanks for asking. He left. I added his statement to my mental checklist. Another witness. Another piece that backed up my story. Before bed, I called my lawyer. I want to file for divorce. Tomorrow. I'll have the paperwork ready by noon. We'll cite irreconcilable differences and include a sworn statement about what you witnessed. That way it's on the record. Good. The next morning, I boxed up all of Bridget's stuff. Every piece of clothing, every toiletry, every book, every picture. Found stuff she'd left in the bathroom, in the closet, under the bed. Her ridiculous collection of scented candles. Her yoga equipment. The framed photos of us from better times. Took me 4 hours. Loaded it all into my car and drove it to a storage facility. Paid for 1 month. Sent her a text with the address and unit number. Your belongings are here. You have 30 days before I stop paying for it. Do not contact me. All communication goes through my attorney. She called immediately. I didn't answer. She texted, "Please, can we just talk? I made a mistake. It meant nothing." I forwarded her message to my lawyer. He sent her the divorce papers by end of day. My lawyer called me 4 days after the incident. Talked to the detective. The DA reviewed everything and decided not to file charges. Your video makes it impossible to claim aggression on your part. Just like that? Not quite. They interviewed your family. Your parents gave statements supporting Troy's version. Said you have anger issues, that Troy was just trying to calm you down. The detective asked for evidence. They had none. Meanwhile, you've got video, audio, injuries, 911 call, independent witnesses. Case closed. Interesting. They tried to file a false report against me. They did, and I've documented that. If they try again, we have grounds for a harassment case. What about Troy's condition? My lawyer paused. The hospital report came through. Traumatic brain injury, chronic vertigo, balance problems, cognitive issues. Can't drive. Lost his job because he can't pass the physical anymore. He's on disability. Can I still pursue the assault charge? The DA can file based on your signed complaint and the evidence. The video's a slam dunk, but it'll take time. Court dates, testimony, the whole process. He'd be looking at probation, anger management, possible jail time depending on the judge. Do it. You sure? He attacked me in my home after sleeping with my wife, and my family tried to have me arrested for defending myself. Yes, I'm sure. All right. I'll coordinate with the DA's office. He'll be served this week. I hung up. My airline called later that day. HR wanted to check in. They'd heard about the incident through the grapevine. Some crew member who knew my family somehow. I gave them the short version. Explained I'd defended myself. Mentioned the police report cleared me. They were professional about it. Said to take whatever time I needed. Asked if I wanted access to the employee assistance program. I declined. Went back to work the following week. Singapore rotation again. Same routes, same airports. Walking through Changi felt different somehow. Everything looked the same, but nothing felt the same. Grabbed my usual coffee at the gate. Checked the weather reports. Did my pre-flight inspection. Normal routine. But I kept thinking about Troy bleeding on my floor, about Bridget's face when she saw me standing there. Flying helped. Up at altitude, focused on instruments and navigation, there wasn't room to think about anything else. My co-pilot on that trip was solid. Good pilot. Didn't ask questions. We kept it professional. Landed smooth in Singapore, checked into the crew hotel, slept for 10 hours straight. The next morning, I got a frantic call from Dad. I answered it. "You're actually going through with charges against your own brother?" His voice was shaking with rage. "The DA is filing. I cooperated with their investigation. He's in the hospital. He's disabled. Haven't you done enough?" He attacked me. In my home. After sleeping with my wife. And you tried to have me arrested. So no, I haven't done enough. If you go through with this, we're done. You're not my son anymore. Fine by me. But you should know. I've been covering your mortgage for years now. $2,000 a month. Troy's car insurance. His phone bill. I'm not funding people who are actively trying to ruin my life. Silence on the other end. Your choice, Dad. Leave me alone or figure out how to cover those expenses yourselves. He hung up. 2 days later, my lawyer called back. Troy was served this morning, at your parents' house. He's living with them now. How'd he take it? The process server said he looked shocked. Like he couldn't believe you'd actually go through with it. Your mother tried to refuse the papers on his behalf. The server explained that's not how it works. Good. Court date is set for 6 weeks from now. Preliminary hearing. Troy will need to appear. Given his condition, the judge might be sympathetic. But the evidence speaks for itself. The weeks dragged. I picked up extra shifts. Flew to Tokyo, Frankfurt, Dubai. Kept moving, kept busy. Came home to an empty house and didn't mind it. Started ordering takeout instead of cooking. Let the lawn grow even more overgrown. Stopped caring about the small stuff. The divorce proceedings initially dragged on. Paperwork. Court delays. The whole deal. Bridget fought it at first. Wanted spousal support. Wanted to claim she contributed to the household. My lawyer shut it down fast. Short marriage. Separate property. Clean paper trail. Her lawyer saw the evidence and advised her to settle. Told her it would turn into a public mess if she pushed. The sworn statement about what I'd witnessed would become public record. Photos attached. Police reports attached. Everyone would know. She settled 2 weeks after her lawyer reviewed everything. Clean break. No support. No asset split. She keeps what she brought in. That's it. Her lawyer sent one final email. Bridget wanted to know if we could talk. Just once. To get closure. My lawyer replied on my behalf. No contact. Terms are final. Troy's court date arrived on a Wednesday morning. I showed up in a suit. My lawyer met me outside the courthouse. Remember, don't engage. Don't make eye contact. Let me handle everything. Inside, Troy was already there with a public defender. He looked worse than I'd seen him at the hospital. Thinner. Older somehow. The scar on his forehead was prominent even from across the room. He was sitting down, one hand on the bench for balance. When he saw me, something flickered across his face. Hope, maybe, or desperation. I looked past him. I found a seat on the opposite side of the courtroom. The hearing lasted 30 minutes. Video evidence was presented. The judge watched it twice. Troy's attorney tried arguing that permanent injury was punishment enough. My lawyer countered that assault is assault regardless of outcome. The judge agreed. Troy took a plea deal right there. Misdemeanor assault, probation, community service, anger management classes. Restraining order with no contact terms set for a long time. He stood when the judge read the terms. Had to grab the table. His attorney steadied him. When the judge asked if he understood the terms, his voice cracked. Yes, Your Honor. I walked out of the courthouse without looking back. Bridget's career didn't survive. About a month after the divorce was filed, word got around. Hospital staff stopped including her in conversations. Referrals dried up. She started getting scheduled for the garbage shifts. Eventually, she left. Called it a mutual decision. Physical therapy is a small world. People talk at conferences. Hiring managers check references quietly. Someone always knows someone. It took a few months, but the whispers followed her. One of my airline buddies had a sister who worked at a different hospital in the same network. Told me Bridget tried getting hired at 3 different clinics in LA. All of them passed. No official reason given. Just never got past the interview stage. Last I heard, she'd moved back to Arizona. Some clinic job making a fraction of what she used to earn. Living with her parents at 29. My family kept trying for a while. New phone numbers, letters, messages through mutual friends. I blocked every number. Returned every letter unopened. Cut off anyone who agreed to pass messages. After I made it clear about the finances, they got quieter. Dad tried calling once more to negotiate. I kept it simple. Stop harassing me, and I keep helping with the mortgage. Come at me legally or keep pushing. I stop immediately. They couldn't afford to lose that income, so they backed off. Monica tried showing up at my airline's crew lounge once. Security stopped her at the entrance. She didn't have credentials. I watched from inside the secure area as she argued with the guard. Eventually, she left. I filed a report with my company, added her name to the unauthorized visitor list. Piper sent one final email 3 months later. Long message about how family should forgive, how everyone makes mistakes, how Troy was suffering, how mom cried every day, how dad's health was declining from the stress, how I needed to be the bigger person. I read it once, deleted it, blocked her email address. Eventually, the attempt stopped. Months passed. I picked up extra shifts at work, flew to Japan, spent a week in Tokyo, started hitting the gym regularly, bought a new car, a Mustang GT with a V8 that growled. Life got quieter, better. Then Christmas rolled around. My new phone buzzed. Unknown number. I answered because I wanted to hear what they'd try this time. It's Monica. Before you hang up, just listen. Mom and Dad want you at Christmas dinner. Troy is doing better. He's in therapy. He wants to apologize properly. Please come. Will Troy be there? He's family. Of course he'll be there. I thought about it. They wanted to play happy family. Wanted to pretend everything was fine. Wanted me to sit across from the man who attacked me after sleeping with my wife. But I also wanted to see it. Wanted to see Troy's face. Wanted to watch them squirm. Wanted them to understand that nothing had changed. I'll be there. 6 o'clock. She responded with relief. Thanks. Promises that this would be good for everyone. I wasn't going to reconcile, but I needed them to understand something. Spent the days leading up to Christmas running scenarios in my head. What they'd say. How they'd act. Prepared for every angle. Made sure my car had a full tank in case I needed to leave fast. Put my phone on full charge. Had my lawyer's number ready to dial if anything went sideways. Christmas Eve. I pulled up at 5:55 p.m. Car's already there. Monica's SUV. Piper's sedan. Troy's truck, though someone else had to drive him now. I walked in without knocking. Mom rushed over, hugged me too long, too tight. I'm so glad you came. Dad shook my hand. Firm grip. Lots of eye contact. Good to see you, son. And then Troy stood up from the armchair near the fireplace. Slowly, carefully. Had to grab the armrest to steady himself. He looked terrible. Lost weight, dark circles. The scar on his forehead stood out. His hand stayed on the wall for balance. Hey! His voice cracked. I walked past him to the kitchen, grabbed a seltzer from the fridge. Monica and Piper were setting the table. They both looked at me like I was a bomb about to go off. Careful smiles, nervous energy. The whole room felt tight. Everyone moving around each other like we were strangers. We sat down for dinner. Mom had gone all out. Turkey, the whole spread. Dad said grace. Thanked God for family, for forgiveness and new beginnings. I kept my eyes open, stared at my plate. We started eating. Small talk. Monica talked about her kids. Piper mentioned her new job. Dad complained about his back. Mom asked me about flying. I gave one-word answers. Kept my focus on the food. Troy set down his fork. I know this is uncomfortable, but I need to say this. I'm sorry. I know that doesn't fix anything. I destroyed everything. I was wrong. About everything. I attacked you and you defended yourself. I'm in therapy now. I'm working on myself. And I love you. You're my brother. The whole table went quiet. Everyone watching me. Waiting. I turned to Monica. Can you pass the potatoes? Troy stopped, mouth still open. The words just gone. Monica slowly passed the bowl. I spooned potatoes onto my plate. Kept eating. Dad's tone hardened. This is childish. Look at him. He can't work. He can't drive. He's living with Mom and Dad because he can't take care of himself. He's suffered enough. I set down my fork. Looked at Dad. He attacked me. In my own home. After I walked in on him with my wife. And when I defended myself, you all tried to have me arrested. You knew exactly what happened. You just chose to believe I was the bad guy. Even with video evidence. Even with police reports. You picked him. Silence. I stood up. Where are you going? Mom asked, voice rising. I came here tonight to confirm something. And I did. That you all chose him over me. You invited him here knowing what he did. You asked me to sit at this table and eat dinner with a man who assaulted me. And you thought I'd just forgive him? Troy stood. Slowly. Unsteadily. Had to grab the table. Please don't leave. I'll go. I'll leave right now. Just stay. I walked to the door. Dad followed. If you walk out that door, I turned. What? You'll call the cops on me again? Already tried that. Didn't work. The room went silent. I opened the door. Troy was right behind me, desperate, moving too fast. He stumbled, caught himself on the doorframe. Wait, please, just one word. Just tell me you hate me. Anything. I looked at him. You know what your problem is, Troy. You always thought you could take whatever you wanted and someone else would clean up the mess. Well, not anymore. I walked out without looking back. The cold air hit me as I stepped off the porch. I got in my car, started the engine. The house was lit up like a Christmas card, perfect and warm and completely fake. I pulled out of the driveway, checked my rearview mirror once. Troy was still standing there, leaning against the doorframe, watching my taillights disappear down the street. By the time I got home, I had 23 missed calls. I blocked every number, canceled the mortgage payments the next morning, canceled Troy's insurance and phone bill. They made their choice when they defended him after he attacked me, when they expected me to pretend everything was fine. I didn't choose this. They did. Now, 2 years after everything went down, I've got a new house, a dog named Maverick, a girlfriend named Harper who respects my boundaries and doesn't push. Built it all after my family tried to destroy me for refusing to be their doormat, and it's better than anything I had before. Guys, we are so close to hit 100,000 subscribers on this channel. If you are not subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing. It really helps hit that 100,000 mark. Thanks for making this dream come true.